What is going on, everybody? Bindles will be coming in very, very soon. But thanks for all stopping by on a Thursday night. Looking forward to some drafts, getting in a puppy right away. And like I said, Bindles should be hopping in any second now. We're talking about the man, the myth, the legend, Josh Jacobs in our thumbnail. Maybe I should go to jail. I don't know. Let's see here. We'll get some. Let's see. Is it playing? Can you guys hear the music? I can't hear anything. What is going on? All right, we're gonna get into a puppy. If you guys want to get in with me, I'll get in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, 5 more people. If you guys want to get in. And we are coming in right away. We got pick 6. This is probably my least favorite position of them all. I really do want to get one of these guys right here, but I think I might do something fun and see before Bindles comes in. He can't talk me out of it. I think I'm gonna pull up Ashton Genty to the 6 right here, and if anyone wants to snipe me, I guess go right ahead. All right, chat. Ugly Bindles. that is funny. We're in on the bit. Well, let's see here. Yeah, I don't think anyone's in here that I know particularly, but that's okay. I think I actually might know King of Kings 1, 2, 3, but I'm not sure. How are you doing, Angry Dragon? How was your time? Is this your first time being on the Best Ball Bash? How was that? If you guys are just now hopping in, Bindles will be here any minute. He had something at work come up, but he'll be here any second. So should be a good time with him. All right, so don't try this at home, kids, but I'm gonna pull my best Rambus action here, and we'll pull up Ashton Genty to the 6 hole. I like it. I think that it's good, especially if I want to get someone like Brock Bowers to pair with him, and then we can get a pretty solid 3rd round pick as well. I don't mind it, but I'm sure there are plenty of people that are gonna hate. How's everybody doing tonight? Anything in particular? Yeah, so I didn't realize that I had been on last week. It's been like an entire year in just an entire week for me, and so I put my name in, and then I swear that whatever system randomizer he uses, it loves me. I think I put my name in every single time, and every single time my name's been pulled out of the hat. So they might need to get that figured out. But yeah. I hope that they literally have to change the rules for me or something. I guess like they're just now making it to where you can't get on to Bash with Pete until like 3 weeks after you've got on the last time. It's crazy. Waiting for Bindles. Okay, Hampton Falls to me here. I feel like this is a gift. That although I would like to do Bowers, I think that we'll have to take the it's going to be a unique team, that's for sure. But excited for Bindles to show up. Should be any minute now. Let's take a look at the board, see what's going on here. Nothing too crazy. I mean, Chase Brown and James Cook is an interesting pairing, but not too crazy there. Christian McCaffrey going all the way to pick. I mean, it's not that wild, but going all the way to pick 9 is interesting, with Drake London getting pulled all the way up. Yeah, interesting. Okay, I mean, this guy, I don't feel like he knows ball. Maybe Malik Neighbors is all good though. If anyone missed it last week, Bindles was supposed to come on with me, and he wasn't able to. He wasn't able to make it, and so pulled in Angry Dragon. And it was a great time. Thanks for popping by. Yeah, I mean, I feel like reaching for. The only person that I probably, like, if you had to ask, like, that I might rather have over Genty at 6 would probably be Justin Jefferson. I could see Genty easily outscoring Amon-Ra, Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey, CeeDee Lamb. Like, any of these guys, I feel like Genty is just going to be better than this year. But I don't know. We'll have to see. Time will tell. Coming up here, I mean, I'm not a big Trey McBride guy, but it's just crazy how much he's been falling. I feel like it's just a gift to be able to get him here at pick 30. So I will be slurping the Dipperino there. And so I feel like this is an incredibly unique team. I don't think very many people are going to have the combination of Ashton Genty, Amari Hampton, and Trey McBride. And I don't really feel like we've lost a whole lot of ADP value. So I'm really liking this team so far. This is something that I don't really get. Like, I mean, Devontae Smith is pretty close going to his ADP still, but AJ Brown going. I mean, there's a pretty big disparity between pick 25 or 26, which is where he was going previously, and pick 20. I just don't understand. I mean, people would say that they thought that it was baked in, but you just got a bunch of randos that are popping in drafts, and they think that the sky is falling now that AJ Brown went to New England. But you could have gotten literally that exact same combo, except for like probably Bowers and then AJ Brown here. So this guy is literally just, I just don't understand what goes through the mind of someone that doesn't know what they're doing. But I guess that's probably what's going on, is they just don't know what they're doing. Yeah, I personally think that uniqueness is a little bit overblown. Like, you're going to get unique anyways if you're in a pretty small final. All in all, like, there aren't going to be a lot of people that have your team exactly duped. I think that uniqueness generally should come from knowing ball and having good picks in the later rounds, and really just unless you have some particular player take, like I have right here with Ashton Genty, you really should be being very careful to pick within reasonable ADP ranges, but we'll see. All right, I can't pass on him any longer. Mr. Thumbnail, come on down. We got Josh Jacobs on this team. So if it wasn't already unique, now it is. Hey, what's up, Hartman? Thanks for stopping by. Bindles will be here soon, so don't you guys worry. I know you guys are all coming here for him and not so much me, but this is quite the team. Yo, what's good? We got the moms in the chat. Thanks for stopping by. A big preach. You went viral. You got like what, 3 million 3 million views on a what was it, a TikTok video? That's pretty impressive. Good for you. I hope Nate, or so do you call him Nathaniel? Do you call him Nate? Like, what's any fun nicknames for him that could possibly ruin his career that we won't use? We do need a good, I mean, Nate is fine, but I think it would be pretty funny if there was like some insider name. Okay, just everyone calls him Nathaniel. Got it. Man. I might. Oh man, okay. I'll pull up Carnell. I mean, it's not really pulling him up too crazy, but I'll bring Carnell Tate. He's our wide receiver 1 so far. But I mean, I'm pretty happy with our running back room. And I mean, getting Trey McBride at pick 30 just feels pretty stinking good. There are a couple people I'll be targeting at wide receiver here, but I mean, I don't really mind my draft so far. I mean, I've got Ashton Genty, who I'm drafting to be probably the I think he's going to be the 103 next year, but that's just me. Amarian Hampton, who could be really good. The jury's still out. We haven't seen. There's not a whole lot of sample size on him. There were a couple good games. There were a couple games that were not so great, but I think that he will be decent. Trey McBride seems super solid. Josh Jacobs, I don't think anything's going to happen to him, and so this is a crazy price. And then Carnell Tate, there have been a lot of really solid blurbs on him so far, and there just isn't a lot of competition. And so if you believe in Cam Ward, then I'm going to be pretty in on Tate all in all as a prospect. And then again, I feel like I've repeated myself a bajillion times, but I think that it deserves to be repeated, that we will be having Bindles any second now. He said that he was just finishing up something for work, and then he will be hopping in to stream with all of you lovely people with me. So let's see here. Man, the quarterbacks that are going, oh, Brian Thomas just sniped. Oh, all right. I think that we'll probably just bet on Arizona being just solid, and then we'll have the game stacks for week 17 with Las Vegas and Arizona just going off. That gives us outs to having kind of some cheap quarterback options. I'll probably go Jacoby Brissett on this team. It wouldn't really make sense to not to. And we'll just say, I mean, people say that they think Carson Beck will be starting later on in the season, but I mean, Jacoby Brissett was very serviceable just when it comes to a passer of the ball. So I'm not sure that the Arizona Cardinals offense will be terrible. Yeah, I mean, so they asked him, like, what were some good things about Carson Beck? Like, why did you draft him? And literally the only things that they could say that were good about him was how big he was and how tall he was. And so I don't get different and take Minshew. Yeah, I don't know if I can stomach taking Minshew on this team, but you know, all power to you if you want to do that. Man, I really don't like Lemon. I think that there's a lot of negativity around him. I just don't know necessarily who I would take here if I don't take him. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'll take Mekhi Lemon here. He's going to be probably pretty solid. I know he has an ankle injury or there's something going on with him a little bit, but what did she say? Just waiting on a Bindles. Why can't I hear it? Huh. Can you guys hear the Davis Maddock music? He's big. Fair enough. She's saying that about you? We hear the music. Is it too loud? I don't hear any of it, which kind of actually upsets me, but that's all right. Now you're feeding the ducks. That was a good one. Pretty good play on his name. A for effort. It's perfect. That is what she said right there. I was so we've got Nathaniel's mom from So You Think You Can Tout on. I was pretty impressed with Nathaniel and his performance thus far. I will be completely honest. I'm sorry. I'll be completely honest. I didn't think it initially that he was going to be okay. We're on the clock. That he was going to be amazing, but man, he's really. He's impressed me a lot. So way to go, Mom. It's a pretty neat to see him doing good things. Yeah. So very impressive. You should be very proud. And I think that he has a really good chance of making it forward. I think that the streamers, just as a whole, have a pretty easy task. I don't know. All right. Yeah, let me know if the sound is better now. Thanks for hopping in, Chad. Good to see you. You're a stud. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be rude, but like if you looked at the betting odds and now what they are, like very impressed. So yeah, again, you should be very proud, Marilyn. I feel like it's GTA 6 right now with Bindles. I promise you guys that Bindles will be on here. Will he be on today? That's for sure the hope. That is for certain. I didn't even realize that I took Xavier Worthy so far past ADP, but that's all right with me. I think that Xavier Worthy is a perfectly cromulent wide receiver in the National Football League. So I truly do think that he was injured a decent bit last year, and so more than people would have thought, and I feel like that's really led to him getting much more dropping as low as he is currently. So really hoping to get somebody here. All right. I feel like I was gifted Patrick Mahomes. It makes the Xavier Worthy pick look genius. Getting Patrick Mahomes where Xavier Worthy was supposed to go and getting Xavier Worthy where Patrick Mahomes was supposed to go. So we just did it different over here. It looks better when you get a faller like Patrick Mahomes. It looks like you know ball when you get Xavier Worthy a little bit ahead of ADP. And I really do not mind this team at all. I mean, you got Ashton Genty, Amarian Hampton, and Josh Jacobs all should be starting every week. Trey McBride could be the tight end one on the year pretty easily. And then you got Carnell Tate, Marvin Harrison, Mekhi Lemon, and Xavier Worthy. We're betting on prospects that haven't necessarily done what they should have done or what we were expecting them to do. And then you've got two very solid first-round picks this year. I don't mind. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know exactly who said that as well. I'm sure there's someone else that knows in the chat who said it, but thank you. Yeah. You, I don't know if you've seen any like Fortnite stuff or whatever, but there's a guy called Bush Camp Dad, and basically all he does is camp in a bush. But I'm sure you could figure out like Fantasy Football Mom or something as a YouTube channel, and you could probably do pretty well on that. I'm sure there would be a room. I mean, you just saw what was it? Buck St. Thomas. He had his mother-in-law on for a video, and so that was pretty fun. I thought that was a pretty fun concept. I think you could do just fine there. So we'll see. Marilyn is big into Fortnite. Well, there you go. Are you her PR manager? There you go. Yeah. I mean, I thought Buck St. Thomas did a really good job with that video. So, yeah, I thought that was super entertaining. All right, we're almost up on the clock. Who do we got here? I can't do it. Man, I don't really want to. Oh, man. We'll take Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray's ADP is like probably just wrong. I don't really have anyone to stack with him, but he's a rushing quarterback. He's good. Maybe we'll get one of these guys to come back to us. I feel like that's very within the realm of possibilities. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot more to say. It just seems like Kyler Murray on the Minnesota Vikings with Justin Jefferson, like I don't see many worlds where that's okay. No Fortnite for Maryland. We got a liar in the chat, but maybe you could pick up Fortnite. You never know. Yeah. So maybe you guys can help me in the chat. Do you guys have any particular like leanings, Aaron Jones or Jordan Mason? I've just been kind of drafting both of them, and whichever one I can get. Okay, well, Jordan Mason goes there, so screw me. But man, I'll probably pull up this right here. I mean, I don't mind taking someone like Stephon Diggs at pick 126. I feel like he could be completely cromulent and could be a guy that could go to Kansas City and it could be very solid. Yeah, I really feel like the best course of action is to just draft both and see what happens, but we'll see. Okay. Stephon Diggs, come on down. So drafted 3 RBs early and haven't drafted one since, and I don't mind that. I feel like there are some pretty solid bets later on in the draft to hit at. Getting Trey McBride at pick 30, I feel is super solid. And yeah, we've got 2 very solid quarterbacks. I'm not sure if he'll even draft a third. Probably will need to get Brissett, but yeah. Mason is probably decent and probably better than Aaron Jones at this point. I just don't know how much of a pass catcher he is in comparison to Aaron Jones. I feel like the passing work is going to be pretty important, but I don't know. Yeah. I mean, that was kind of what I was saying. I really think that the pass catching role in a Kevin O'Connell coaching situation, I just really feel like having the pass catcher on the Minnesota Vikings is probably the pass catching back is probably the way to go. But yeah, I'm drafting both pretty much. Did anyone have any experience handcuffing Keaton Mitchell to Amari and Hampton? I wouldn't do it obviously in this team, but I wonder if that could be good. It could possibly be interesting. Okay, I don't take a lot of Travis Hunter, but I think that he's probably the bet that we need to make on this team. So Travis Hunter, come on down. What do you guys think in the chat? Are you guys Travis Hunter guys, or do you think that he's just going to be a cornerback? I could go either way, but again, in best ball, where he could go for 20 in a given week and then go back to cornerback, I feel like he's probably a smash here at pick almost 140. Bindles should be here any minute. Just like GTA 6, right, guys? Yeah. Not that I don't necessarily hope in this wide receiver room. I think that it can be good, but I probably need some more firepower. So, anyone doing anything crazy? This guy, dude. What is up?
What's up, bro? Sorry for the delay.
I can't hear you. Okay.
I know we've been talking in the DMs for a while, but yeah, it's been a crazy couple weeks at work. I'm actually still at work in a meeting room. But you know, we're here, and we're with the boys.
Okay, I'm gonna disconnect my AirPods and then I'm gonna reconnect.
Oh wait, can you not hear me? Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you doing, Stad?
Oh man, I'm good. I was just saying, it's been a crazy couple weeks at work, and yeah, I'm actually still at work, and I am in a
Yeah, are you in an elevator?
I'm in like a meeting pod. It's like one of these little like meeting room pods.
There we go.
And I may or may not have a cigarette that I might smoke after this.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, how are
YOLO.
you doing, man? How have you been? You know, in these streaming streets. Excited to see you getting going.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying it. I mean the support from the community has just been awesome. You know, I mean getting someone like you, Bindles, who's been in the game for quite a bit longer than I and has a much bigger following. It's just super cool to see everyone just be so welcoming in the community for the most part. I mean, there are always some haters, but you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can't worry about them, of course, but you know, any guy with a mustache, you know, ball knower, you got to support them. That's, you know, it's just, you know, you absolutely have to. So yeah, appreciate what you're doing. And yeah, sorry for the craziness of the scheduling issues.
No, you're good.
I absolutely I haven't been streaming much myself. I started a new job in April. A lot of life changes, so I've been yeah, it's been hard for me, but yeah, I definitely want to hop on with a you know, fellow mustache enjoyer.
Yeah,
I miss my mustache every day. I had one for a year, and you know, might have to grow it back.
You could get back there. You never know. Yeah, I mean the community for the most part is pretty stinking solid.
Oh yeah.
So the person that replaced you last week was Angry Dragon is pretty funny, and so now I've been calling him Sexy Bindles every now and then. It's been pretty funny. That's his new nickname. Oh heck, now we have Rondé Gadsden and Sadiq. I haven't been paying it all attention. Okay, go to I'm not okay. This is chopped a little bit, but that's okay. No, I mean we got you know, elite tight end, and we got a Rondé Gadsden as a follower, and we got Kenyon Sadiq as a follower. So, you know, what could go wrong? I mean, it doesn't necessarily matter. So I pulled up Ashton Genty at the 6. I'm not sure what you think about that, but I think that's pretty good. And we got Marin Hampton to fall to 19. So that was fun. And then Trey McBride falling at pick 30, and then Mr. Thumbnail at pick 43. So yeah, I mean, I'll pull up the draft board, or not the draft board, but so this is the team so far through 14 rounds. Any thoughts on the team? All right.
I do like
for coming in, Marilyn.
Yeah, thank you. I do like pulling up the Genty. I don't mind that. I do think Genty could be like a top 3 or 4 pick next year. Absolutely. Like the team situation was just so bad. I think he's extremely talented. They're going to want to run the ball. He's going to be an absolute bell cow. So definitely good with that. Hampton, as a talent, I don't like, it's not an anti-Hampton thing. It's more so just like, we haven't seen it yet, so it is a projection, but like, you got to think good offense, first round pick, like don't overthink it. I think that's where I've come around to. I've kind of gone full circle. I was kind of out on him in the beginning of the offseason, but now I'm coming around on it. Jacobs, I think this is pretty cheap. It's a bit of a gamble, but you know, it's a bit of a gamble, but I mean, I think it's fine, especially if you have these other two guys ahead of him to you know, if there is something that goes on, if he does get suspended, it's fine. And then I'm a huge B-Rob stan as well. So I like that running back room. Mahomes, I'm going to be honest, I'm not the biggest Mahomes guy this year, but if you got the 10 pick fall or 12 pick fall, I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I took Worthy 10 picks ahead of ADP, and so it's pretty much switching places with these guys. But no, it's all right.
How have you been? What I would say, what is your most drafted build out of like the first like 5 or 6 rounds? Are you 2 running backs, 1 running back, obviously not 0 running back, but like what would you say is like your most drafted build, or like the one you find yourself leaning to the most?
Well, I think for pretty much like 18 out of my last 20 drafts, I've taken Bowers in the second round on pretty much all of them, no matter pretty much where I'm at. Okay, let's see here.
Okay.
I think Tank Dell here. Do you have any particular thoughts on wide receiver?
I'm good with Dell. That's fine. Yeah.
I think
you know, Ridley. I've kind of been convinced a little bit on Ridley that his metrics last year were actually not bad, and it was mostly just like he didn't play that many games. So I'm pretty in on the Titans this year. I think Dayball is a very good play caller. I'm not completely sold on Cam Ward as a talent, but I think so much of quarterback play and just quarterback production is just structural and what you have around you. So I'm pretty in on the Titans. I think Ridley, will he be like a league winner? Absolutely not. But I think if you need a guy, right, to cover off for a Travis Hunter or just kind of as a little bit of a chaperone, it's a very leg up ass take, but I am with it a little bit. But I think Tank Dell is more fun. So you know what? We'll
Would you not just rather Cooper Kupp over Calvin Ridley, just like straight up?
Oh man, Cooper Kupp. You know, I'm a big what's the third receiver for what's the guy from last year that they drafted?
I mean, Rashid Shaheed, and then they got Torrey Horton.
I'm a big Torrey Horton guy, so I feel like I'm just like, I think Torrey Horton, if he hadn't have gotten hurt, would have been pretty huge. I mean, in a best ball take, maybe not like in a redraft sense, but like, how many touchdowns did he score in like the few amount of games? He's big. He ran like a 4.3, and then you have Shaheed as well. So yeah.
Okay, I think I'd probably have to take Brissett here with both. So, and then I don't know. So it looks like Jordan James will be probably the running back 2 for San Francisco. Have you been taking a lot of Christian McCaffrey, or what's your take on the San Francisco offense? Do you think McCaffrey's going to get hurt this year? Or?
I think you have to take McCaffrey. It's just one of those things where it's just like, you never know in a given year what's going to happen, but if it is a year you need to have him, you just want to have him, even if it's just for advance rate's sake. So I don't want to be fading McCaffrey. I Sure. Just feel like at this point, like, until I know the metrics kind of went down in terms of his rushing efficiency and everything, but the passing game work is so good. We know that's an offense we want to be want pieces of, especially with Kittle being hurt, with them, you know, their wide receiver 2 not having Ayuk, and it just being kind of like a bunch of different guys. It's Ricky Pearsall, who I do think is talented, but have we really seen it yet? Mike Evans going to be 33. So I do think McCaffrey, like, we could look back and it's just like, oh, another 25 points per game season. Like, why were we fading him? So I don't want to overthink it, especially in the Shanahan offense. I think you just, whatever. Most of these teams are going to lose anyways, so you might as well just take the shot. Like, he still has the upside, so why not?
I was talking with someone today, and they were like, "Okay, I'm gonna. Are you okay with Jordan James here? Is there someone?
Do we need?
We probably need one more running back.
Let's go James. That's fine.
Yeah, I think that Jordan James could just be a smash if CMC even misses a couple weeks. I think that having some just extra play here is good, but we'll have to see. But someone was talking to me the other day, or not actually today, and they're like, yeah, all the passing downs that CMC had, I mean, that was without Juwan Jennings, that was without Ricky Pearsall or something like that. And I just flipped on him like, Jamar Chase really had a big uptick in passing yards when Andrei Yoshivas wasn't on. Like why are we bringing like we have a crazy caliber of player in Christian McCaffrey? Like, why are we worried about the amount of targets that Jawan Jennings got when he was on the field or not? Like, and really the statistics aren't that different. Christian McCaffrey is going to get a lot of passing work if he's up, and so I'm going to be pretty in on him. But I also probably will want to take a decent amount of his backup as well, just in case. I feel like that's pretty smart with these older running backs that have high injury risk.
There's a few, right? It's like San Francisco. It doesn't matter. It could be. I always forget the name of the guy, but there was Jeff Wilson. Where you're like, bro, Jeff Wilson is the most jag-ass guy you've ever seen, but he still was putting up 18, 20-point weeks, right? For a while. There was a couple seasons where he was very, like, in a best ball sense, very useful because he's giving you those weeks. So I think anybody in like the San Francisco offense, even if it's the third running back, even if Jordan James isn't the second running back, like, we've seen those guys be valuable. And it's just, I think more and more, the more I play best ball and fantasy in general, it's just focusing your exposures around these, like, these play callers are good. It doesn't matter what happens. Like, we saw Kendrick Bourne last year put up like 20-point weeks in PPR, and it's Kendrick Bourne in that offense, right? Like, it doesn't, at a certain point, it becomes less about, yes, the talent is good. If it's CMC, if it's Kittle, if it like, yes, the talent is a huge factor in like really giving you these huge spikes and these huge seasons, but at the same time, like, the system is so important. I always make the comparison to, like, if you've ever worked in a bad workplace, you're like, you could be the most talented person at your job, right? Like, you know what you're doing, you've had a good experience. If you get into a bad environment, like, you're not going to be the best version of yourself. I think that's exactly the same thing. And the exact opposite plays the same as well. Like, hey, you're just starting into an industry. Maybe you're not the most, quote, talented person. You don't have the most experience, but hey, you have a good environment around you. It allows you to thrive. So that's my 2 cents on the 49ers.
Yeah, I mean,
there's obviously like the Rams, there's other teams like that where it's just like, I just want pieces of these offenses. So, and
on the flip side, I mean, you have someone like Sam Darnold who like, it seemed like he was dead and he was on the Jets. Like, just so much of like your who's around you, who's supporting you, it matters a lot. And so again, to your point, I want to be in on offenses that I think are going to be good. And so, although I don't necessarily like Tennessee or I don't necessarily like Arizona, I can bet on some of these offenses and just hope that they take an uptick. Okay, let's go over this team real quick and then we'll get on to the next one. So we got Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray, and Jacoby Brissett. Kyler Murray isn't stacked, but we got Patrick Mahomes and Jacoby Brissett both stacked. Ashton Genty, Omarion Hampton, Josh Jacobs, Brian Robinson, and Jordan James. Got Carnell Tate, Marvin Harrison again stacked. Mekhi Lemon, Xavier Worthy stacked. Stephon Diggs. Do you think Stephon Diggs is going? Where do you think he's going to go? Do you think that it's going to be the Chiefs or?
I think the Chiefs makes sense. I just think he's a good pick. Like, it doesn't. Are you in the ethics committee? I don't think it matters where. I don't know what that's referring to.
Have you not seen that? There's just a bit going around that someone is like the So You Think You Can Tell ethics committee, and they're like trying to audit Pete or whatnot for So You Think You Can Tell. It's pretty funny.
Oh, is it? I'm gonna be honest. I have not been paying attention. Oh, like, I've been so up to
You got
date
snubbed, dude. I'm still like.
No, you know what? My submission was. I'm gonna be honest. My submission. I was just trying to get it out the first day. I meant to resubmit, which who knows if it would have been taken, but I really meant to. Like I said, life has just been absolutely insane the last like 6 months, 7 months. So yeah, you know what? I do think I can tout. So I mean, like, I do wish, I would have kind of parlayed myself better, but you know what? We'll get him next year. It's okay. But yeah, I have been paying attention up until this last week, and I just saw scrolling through Twitter as I'm like quickly checking it and I see Emo just going on some rant about like editing or something. So I'm gonna be honest, I'm not caught up, but I will have to tomorrow as I have a little bit more free time. So
yeah, the editing wars have been pretty good. There have been arguments that are made on both sides that I think that have been pretty.
There's
pretty
good people on
interesting.
both sides. Many have been saying, yeah.
Yeah. So, do you know what the challenge is?
No. What is the challenge?
So basically, there are a decent number of people that are either really good at making like just long form content, but not streaming, and then there are other people like you got Emo and you've got a PPR and whatnot that are just like the streamer dudes.
Sure.
And so you've got the streamer dudes that have to make a video, and you have the video guys that have to make a stream. And they're going to be pinned up against each other. And so the video guys that know how hard it is to just edit a video, it's just like the hardest thing ever. They feel like that should be part of the challenge for the streamers to do, that they can't just pay someone to edit for them. But Emo's like, yeah, we can pay someone to edit for us. I think Tom from Fantasy
Sanctuary, yeah.
Fantasy Sanctuary is going to be the one that's doing a lot of editing for them, and there have been people even there's like even debate within the people that have to do the stream whether or not it's okay if they're hiring someone. But P hasn't really said anything on it. I think that he just likes the content and the discourse.
He's letting them play.
So.
He's letting them play.
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
Yeah. And there've been some pretty good videos back and forth, and now it looks like PPR and Mitch the commish have been going back and forth, seeing who's the better hooper. And PPR just sent one video of him shooting 1-3. Like, that's not really all that impressive. But
I mean, the guy doesn't even lift legs. But if I'm going to be honest, I obviously love the Toxic Tower boys. Been friends with them for a long time. I do think. I think Emo is like, people don't give Emo the credit that he like deserves. Like, he has a lot of range, and I think PPR Tyler is like the like odds-on favorite. He's the one where you're like, okay, like he's the young up and comer. Like, you can kind of like, right, he's in a position where he kind of like, you can make it make sense. Versus Emo, who is like, the existential, like he has a big boy job, and he has a lot of responsibility. He has a house, he has a wife and everything. But I think Emo is like, he's extremely, extremely talented. And he doesn't, because he kind of is a divisive personality, he doesn't necessarily get the like credit that he actually deserves. Because I mean, I love Emo, but I know people do not like him, and I can understand why. But I think him, Cups, and PPR, like it's pretty close between those three. I'd have to think for a little bit more about, like, I think Cups was, I had him on a stream, and he's very good. Like, you can tell he's just a charismatic guy, which is kind of an X factor, where like, if you have the analytics background, his editing, I know he made a couple videos, was like pretty solid. And then like, if you have that and you have the like charisma, I think that is like, the charisma is the X factor. Like, PPR has charisma, Emo has charisma. Do those guys have the same level of like data analytics skills that Cups have? I think that might be the thing that like really sets him apart. So we'll see. It's going to be really interesting. But I've really been enjoying the whole process with everyone, honestly.
Yeah. The only thing about Cups is that he doesn't have the cult like following of Emo and PPR.
It is a disadvantage. Yeah.
Yeah. Everything else, I feel like it's really hard to poke holes in this game. But we'll be getting into this next draft here, and then I'm sure there'll be plenty of other stuff that we'll talk about. But if anyone else wants to get in, we'll be getting in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I don't know if there's delay on the stream, but I mean, there are eight spots, so don't everyone all hop in at once.
Get in here. Get in here and smoke this Blossom Fusion cigarette Marlboro with me.
There we go. Are you hashtag sponsored or hashtag not sponsored, or?
No. I'm definitely not sponsored. I'm not a regular smoker, but I started working at like 7:30 this morning, and I just finished not too long ago. So you know what? What's a couple cigarettes? At the end of a day, it's okay.
Probably like heart cancer and lung cancer and everything, but it's all good.
Yeah.
All right, we got one more before we get into this draft.
So, BB Chosen, give me some more of the BB Chosen lore. Like, I want to know more about you. What is your background? What is I need to know more about, who you are as a person.
So I don't know if I'm all that interesting, but I mean, I could try and mesh some things together that I think are somewhat interesting. We got the 101, by the way, so the streamer luck is.
Oh, so Jameer Gibbs. Jameer Gibbs, you're saying?
I'm happy to do Jameer Gibbs here, without a doubt. But yeah, I mean, I pretty regularly play volleyball in all three of its kind of most popular forms: indoor, grass, and sand. I really enjoy it, and could talk pretty high level with just about anyone about it. But to be complete, I mean, I at least when I was younger, I used to be a speech and debate kid. And so, although maybe it doesn't come out so much on stream because it's pretty different all in all, I could out debate just about anyone if I really wanted to.
You're a master debater, many are saying.
That might be what they say. So yeah, let's lock up Jameer Gibbs here. I mean, hoop, plenty. But all in all, I really am not that interesting of a person. I'll be engaged. I'll be married. I'm engaged. I'll be married pretty soon. So I'll be a married man, and then have a pretty cush sales job. All in all, so
nice. Hey, I mean, engaged to be married in 2026. That's an accomplishment in and of itself. So props to you on that. But no, I mean, Clearly, anyone that is engaged in the best ball space and can contain this much information in their brain and make these decisions while streaming at the same time, I have respect for. So yeah, definitely props to you for getting into the game. I can truly say streaming has had an exponential effect on my life, just in terms of ability, not even public speaking, but just not caring what other people think.
Sure.
In the beginning, for sure, it's definitely pretty hard just being in front of the camera. It's a little it's draining in general, which is weird to explain to people that haven't ever done it before. But I think the payoffs, if you stick to it, definitely it is a game changer in terms of just kind of developing yourself as a person, which I think people most wouldn't really think of that. When you just see, it seems really easy when you just see people talking on stream, drafting, talking about stuff, interviewing, whatever you're doing. But definitely I'm super supportive of anyone who's jumping in to the space, because it does take a lot of courage and a lot of guts to do this and to just put yourself out there as well. That is a trait that I think is extremely admirable, just as a human being. So yeah, props to you. Props to anyone who puts themselves out there in life in general, but especially, the man in the arena, as the phrase goes, I think is very apt. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a really fun ride. I mean, I've only done I think this is stream number 10 or something. So getting there, I mean, it's been fun having a lot of people on, like we were talking about earlier, just all the support, all the people that are willing to hop on. Who Hames has had me on his stream. What a Chad. Yeah, they're just a lot of really cool people in the community. Hartman, does the name have any lore? Not necessarily. I mean, I've talked about this in the past. So I used to be almost semi-competitive in a pretty underground game. So I'm sure most of you guys have heard of Age of Empires or Age of Empires 2, which is probably the most impressive one, or not impressive one, but just the most well known. And I used to be pretty semi-competitive in Age of Empires 3, which almost nobody plays. Like it's pretty much a dead game. But my gamer tag on there was chosen. Brock Bowers goes at 20.
No!
Dude, if we could have only been picked to this. Okay.
Pickens. How do you feel? Let's go Pickens with one of them first,
I don't
and
like
then
Pickens at all this year.
You don't like Pickens, really, dude?
No.
I think
it's probably Brees or Olave for me here. What do you think?
I kind of like the running backs later.
Devonta Smith, maybe?
Let's go Brees. Let's go Brees.
Okay.
I still think Brees, he's still only, 25? I think the Jets, we say this every year, but I do think the Jets are like having just competent quarterback play. Competent. Geno Smith doesn't have to be amazing, doesn't have to be a world beater, but just like league average 16th best, which I definitely think Geno can be still at this point in his career. Brees is extremely, extremely talented. Like we were taking him in the first round. He catches passes. Is it going to be the highest scoring offense? Probably not. But I think the spike weeks, and he will still get a ton of volume in this offense, which I think could be, sneaky a little bit above average. I'm still good with it. Pickens, I think, is more so just. I'm just a huge Dak guy and a huge, I think if we talk about offenses that we want pieces of, I think Dallas, as long as Dak is healthy, it's going to be one you want to be you want pieces of, and the volume is just going to be so there that even if Lamb bounces back a little bit, I still think Pickens can be a big touchdown guy, big spike week guy. So maybe he's not a huge win necessarily, unless a Lamb were to get injured. But I think week 17, you have George Pickens on your team. You still feel hey, this guy can give me 30. This guy can give me 35. I think that's still pretty valuable. Maybe in a redraft sense where you're you need to pick and choose the weeks of when to start him. It's not as much, but I think he's just the quintessential, him and T Higgins. And T Higgins goes even cheaper, but those guys, I think in a best ball sense, are almost undervalued still, just because of the single week upside is so huge, and they're part of good offenses. Their floor is still pretty high. And then if a Jamar Chase or a Lamb were to go down, where we saw last year, where Lamb was injured, they can really be a league winner type guy. So I think that's kind of my case for both those guys. And you can say, hey, maybe you can get something similar later with a Higgins or, some other guys later, but I still don't think that's a compelling case to not take a Pickens, because I still think it's a solid move. So
yeah, you gave a really, really solid take there. It's hard for me to see how Pickens or CeeDee Lamb don't just vulture each other, especially at their respective ADPs. I really don't think that CeeDee Lamb should probably be where he is on the board. I feel like he should probably be closer to a second round pick than he is to a first round pick. And in the same way, I would be way more confident in Pickens if he was closer to T Higgins as far as price point. I don't know. Do you think that George Pickens is much better of a receiver than T Higgins? And do you think that the Dallas offense is a better offense than the Cincinnati Bengals? I just am not necessarily sold on that. But if you want to sell me on it, then by all means.
No, I agree. It's weird because I don't disagree, but I also don't think. I think at a certain point it's just kind of flat. I don't know. I just don't think there's that much of a difference. And so I don't want to not take a guy that I still like, even if the price is more expensive, because I don't think the opportunity, if you're asking me Bowers and Pickens, but once Bowers is off the board, it's like, okay, Breece Hall, Smith, Olave, like all these guys, I'm like, I don't love either. So I just kind of feel it's one big tier. And so that's why I'm just like, okay, well, I have the one spot, the 2 spot, the 3 spot. Like, I'll just take Pickens because that's where he goes. And I don't want like 0 of him. So that's
okay. We're on the clock, not to cut you off.
All good.
I really like Waddle here. I'm not sure what your thoughts are.
Let's go Waddle first. I like Travion or Demont a lot.
Okay.
Do you have any lean there?
Not necessarily. Neither of them are particularly my favorite, although I think that they're probably the best running back picks here. Travion has a week 17 correlation with Waddle, so that's probably who I would go all in all.
Okay, yeah, I'm good with Travion. Shout out BBG. Let's escape the fishbowl and take Travion Henderson.
Yeah, it's kind of his staple. Although he doesn't want to be the staple guy of the Travion Henderson, but it's kind of been forced upon him. So there we go.
Yeah, I think Travion. It's one of those weird things where like we're almost too like best ball. Yeah, we're still. I don't think we're early, but we're not like late into the game either in terms of just like best ball as a medium. And I think Travion, his upside is still just so huge. I know we didn't see it last year, but I still think from a single game standpoint and just like an overall season, there's a lot of scenarios where he just is like such a smash. And is it going to hit every time? Absolutely not. Like he could just be like, hey, I'm getting 35% of touches in the fucking New England Patriots offense behind Ramondre Stevenson. That definitely could happen. But I think it's one of those guys where like, I still think we underrate. It's the same kind of argument as Pickens, where it's like these guys where they just, they're so talent kind of trumps everything. Like everything else, I want the guys that can give me these huge weeks. And if you're getting him at this 4 or 5 turn, I think that's just like, I will be scooping that up every single time. And I know I mentioned Demont as well, which is kind of like the opposite side of things. It's more of a volume argument versus a talent argument. But I think Travion is a guy that we could look back next year and he's a 2nd round pick or something, like early 2nd round pick where Hampton, Walker, those guys are going. And I just don't want to miss that boat. It's like it could miss, but the upside is just so huge. And I'm fine taking that risk. I think I'm a very I'm very willing to take on
risk adverse.
Yes. I'm not
risk adverse. Like you're willing to take on risk.
I'm willing to take on risk.
I think risk adverse is like you're yeah. I could be wrong. I might not be using that word.
I think
correctly.
Risk adverse is you don't want to take on risk. I think I'm the opposite of that. I think I'm just like I see the upside.
I think adverse means like to take on or something like that. But let's see.
Chat cook us. Yeah, risk averse describes a person or organization that prefers certainty and security over uncertainty.
Okay. So you're correct, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I would agree. So Travion Henderson, I think that he had like at least 3 games last season where he had 25 plus fantasy points. And so he could just score you 75 points. And then, I mean, like there are so many worlds where having that extra 75 points, even if he doesn't really do a whole lot, much of the other season is just like pretty helpful from a 5th round pick. Like they're going to hit for probably about that much anyways. Just so, yeah, I don't mind having Henderson, who can just be that crazy upside guy, and then has not the greatest floor in the world, but there's definitely some room there. But
yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Do you have any ideas as to who you would want to be taking here? I know Drake May goes. I would have liked to have stacked him with Travion.
Drake May was pretty sick. With obviously AJ Brown being confirmed there. Man, I
probably would have taken Daniels there, to be honest.
Yeah, I think
I don't really take a lot of Warren, but we could possibly consider
it's a fine
that.
spot for Warren. I almost feel like we just finished running back here with someone. I know that's kind of maybe, or actually let's go. No, let's go Warren. I like that. And then do we go Hurts and just think it's a value?
I would be okay taking Hurts. I mean, he's not that crazy of a value. He's like 2 picks of ADP, but I would be happy to take him because I cannot actually. No, we have to take Prescott here probably with Pickens. So.
That was my question. I'm like, do we take the stack? Do we take the guy who's correlated bet there? Team bet and just week 17.
Not my favorite, but I mean it works. Bro, what's up, Twan? Thanks for coming. Glad to see ya.
How do you like in terms of? Because you see so many different best ball players and they come from different avenues. It's like, okay, you have obviously everyone probably played fantasy, but it's like you see poker players, you see like finance bros, you see like a lot of like obviously like strategic, like that kind of thinking. Like, how do you feel like your background in terms of like these competitive like strategy games or other stuff like plays into how you think about like best ball and just like drafting?
Yeah, I mean, I totally forgot to talk about chess. I mean, that's probably one of the most impactful things in my entire life. So that's one of the things that I do a lot of. I'm pretty decent at chess. But how does thinking strategically just impact what exactly could you ask your
just
question
like your background in terms of like all these like I didn't know chess, but like chess, Age of Empires, like all this stuff, like how do you think that influences your thinking in terms of best ball, or just like it doesn't necessarily have to one-to-one, but just like the way that you think? Because I think it's really interesting. Like you have guys with so many different backgrounds and there's DFS guys, like there's little tweaks and different changes that everyone has. And yes, I am in an elevator. No, I'm not. But so just like your way of thinking and how it has been influenced by these things that you've done, like how do you think that affects or like the way you draft?
Sure. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting question. I don't know if I've thought a whole lot about it, and just like particularly like thinking about thinking, stribbling about stribbling. But for me particularly, I'm probably more willing to take risks than other people, which it doesn't make sense. It doesn't really make sense to me why people we're drafting, unless you want to just min cash everything. Like we're drafting for upside. We're drafting for like that, literally like 1% of 1% outcome. Like
sure.
Why aren't we okay? If I have a bunch of teams that are dead at week 4, like okay, that's all right. I think BBG has said this, like this is a 15-year investment. Like at some point it will hit. And so I'm pretty willing to take chances or do things that I think are fun that people might not necessarily think are the greatest thing in the world, but I'm happy to see if they hit or not.
Yeah.
I think Josh Downs here is probably my favorite pick out of this whole lot. Do you have any particular thoughts about Josh Downs?
Yeah, we can go Downs. I think we need a receiver, so I like that. Is there... Do we take the
maybe
plunge?
Bo Nix with Waddle? I was going to say,
do we take the plunge on another quarterback here in this like quarterback window? Do we want to get another receiver knowing we only have
we got to go quick. We could do Dart. I don't care.
Let's go Nix. Let's get two stacked quarterbacks on offenses that we think are going to be good. I think that's it's not never really a bad pick. So I'm
yeah, and I think we can be done at quarterback here probably. I think that
Yep.
we've spent enough here. Like if we want to tack on someone later on, like maybe we could find an Indiana stack, which I wouldn't mind. But yeah.
No.
So you asked what's your favorite way of building your teams? I mean, obviously you've got the 3-5-7-3, which is probably the best just in general. But kind of like in the first 5 rounds or so, what are you thinking you're doing generally?
You know what? I still like. So I don't think I'm as running back heavy. I've capitulated, but I still think I'm not as running back heavy in the first 5 rounds as some other people. I still think it's one of those things where the way the dice have rolled the last 2 years has just been, yes, there's league-wide trends and like things that we do want to take into account. But it's also like we've just gotten 2 really good hands in a row for running backs. And I don't necessarily think that I think we're ascribing so much to that to like, oh, like league-wide trends. It's just so running back heavy. Like this is the way we want to be going. I don't think I want to more of that is luck than people want to realize, just because it's easier to just be like, oh, like pattern matching, this is what has happened the last couple of years, this is what's going to happen again. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen. So it's not so much a like I don't like the running back picks where they go in the first 5 rounds, but it's more so just like I think we might be overdrafting some of these middle tier guys and pushing them up. So it's almost like the dead zone is maybe round 3 to 4, that like earlier than it used to be. And it's not like a hard and fast thing. Like it's not like I'm not taking those guys, but it's more so just structurally. I just see so many people taking like 3 running backs through 5 rounds, or even I think 2 is fine. But I just think people are maybe drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit too much on that. And it's more so just about, I don't have any data or analytics to track this, but it's more so just a vibes based. Like I see everyone skirting this one direction. I just kind of don't believe it. I want to be contrarian, but I'm also just naturally a contrarian person. So maybe that's my bias coming through. So yeah.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, it just feels so bad. Like, I mean, all these wide receivers could be good. I mean, I hate Agbuka at cost, but it seems like he got him at a decent fall. But like to have Swift as your RB1 and then Hubbard as your RB2 and then Corum as your RB3, like just the tier of running back that you could get last year, like Corum would have been like right here last year or right here. And so I just really feel like the values have been pushed up so much that it's not that you definitely want to find values other places, but you don't want to just get edged out.
Exactly.
And so I think that like the first couple, like I think that the first round is pretty normal. And so that's where the highest values are for running back. Okay.
I like Concepcion.
Concepcion would probably be my pick here. They are week 17 against Indiana, so that feels all right.
How do you feel running back? I think we kind of push it with the 3 we have.
I would consider Jones here, maybe Jake Ferguson to stack up with Prescott. I don't mind Romeo Doubs. I think that he's fallen more than he should. I thought that it was baked in that he was going to go to New England. So what do you?
I'm probably Jones or Ferguson. I don't know if I can eat the Romeo Doubs thing there.
Slop.
Yeah, it's slop. It's slop to me.
Why don't you? Why? Okay, so you have Drake May. who's like historically, which I mean two seasons, but historically, like he's been the best like spreader out of the ball of like any quarterback in the league. Like he gets everyone the ball. So I feel like that's more of an indictment, or could be more of an indictment, on either them not having a very good like number one wide receiver, and so possibly it changes with AJ Brown. But it could also be like an indictment on AJ Brown, that he's not going to get as many targets as you would think. Like, how many more targets can he get than Diggs, and how much better of a wide receiver can he really be, especially if Drake May is passing that ball around. And now you add a considerably better wide receiver too, at least in my opinion, than what Kayshon Boutte, or I don't even know who was the wide receiver 2 last year.
Yeah.
I feel like the wide receiver 2 when Drake May is your quarterback is probably a good value at pick 120. I just don't understand how it couldn't be. But
yeah, that's you might have convinced me a little bit, at least to take him where he's going and chase him up a little bit. I do think the like X factor is just like Drake May hasn't had like an AJ Brown type receiver, and I also think we're I don't know. I don't know exactly the vibes around AJ Brown right now. Only with my buddies in the office so far, because I haven't been, like I said, I haven't been as deep in the streets as the last couple weeks. But I think AJ Brown could be in store for like a pretty insane season. I think it's like we're still kind of like have the like Eagles like stink on him a little bit. Maybe that'll change as we, he'll probably get pushed up throughout the summer. But it's like if AJ Brown has like 15 touchdowns and 1,600 yards next year, I wouldn't be that surprised. And so I think Romeo Doubs, I think your point is still very valid, and he probably still is a good pick, and probably you could chase him up a little bit. So I definitely think like that makes sense. But I think at the same time, it maybe is like the downside of just like, hey, like we're still ascribing this spread around offense to just a situation that is just not the case right now. And maybe it's just, hey, like, because it more so is AJ Brown is the one, and then everyone else, Eli Raridan, Hunter Henry, Kayshon Boutte, Romeo Doubs, everyone else is kind of like they're getting the scraps, and AJ Brown is just like the clear, by far and away number one. Versus like in other offenses where like, okay, we know, hey, the number one, the number two, the number three, it's more solidified. I think it's just a weird situation. And so, but it is best ball. So I still will be taking Romeo Doubs. You have convinced me. Your argument is it's a good offense. We still want pieces. So
yeah. I mean, so I'm glad. I mean, I want to be convincing and have good arguments. I think I need more Doubs. I haven't taken him as much either. But I feel like Drake May is a really solid quarterback, and so I want to be. Okay, do you want to take Daniel Jones here? Our wide receiver room is kind of chopped. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we take
Travis Hunter first,
and then I'm fine taking Jones. I think
a double stack. I feel like it's.
I think it's probably just the best move. Like we at this point, like we're just betting on
these guys are filling our flex and wide receiver the entire time, and then we can. I personally think, and I've heard it said that Jalen Waddle is kind of like the George Pickens of last year. I think that it could easily. Denver is going to be a pretty solid offense. That Jalen Waddle could just go off. And that George Pickens is kind of the George Pickens of last year because he's George Pickens. And then Josh Downs, I feel, has pretty much like a 9-point floor like every week almost. Like he's going to be week in and week out getting probably like 4 to 6 catches a game for like 40 to 60 yards. Like I feel like he'll be pretty decent all in all. Casey Concepcion, easily could be the wide receiver 1 on the Cleveland Browns. And that's looking like the direction it's going to go. I don't know how valuable that's going to be, but
Sure.
could be not terrible. And then Travis Hunter probably isn't going to be starting every game or maybe even most of the games, but has a lot of outs to being a very fantasy relevant wide receiver. So
yeah, it's a little thin at receiver, but I think we just kind of take some more volume in the next couple rounds and just hope for the best. Like, I think that's kind of the position we're in, and it's fine. I do think, like, I'm a 3 QB guy when it makes sense, but I think it's a little bit less crazy than it has been, like, coming out of like big board season, but with big leg up just like influencing people so much to like take 3 QBs earlier than I think we've ever seen. Do I understand the rationale behind it? Yes. Do I think it's a little bit overblown? Also, yes. But like here, yeah, we took 2 guys in the first, 8th round and 10th round or whatever, 8th round, 9th round. But I think just double stacked, like, it just kind of makes sense here. And then realistically, the receivers and running backs you're getting for the next few rounds aren't that much different. So like, just take the guy that is, scoring more points at that position, double stacked, like, might as well. So
yeah. And Daniel Jones is like pretty stinking solid. I almost see no difference, between rounds 14 and 18. I feel like this is probably the worst late rounds that we've ever really seen ever. And best ball, at least as long as I've been around. There are just so many like kind of gross picks that I mean, other than my guy like Ted Hurst, like I'm not really excited to take anybody almost ever. Like, you could tell me any of these guys are going to be all right, and I would believe you. And then on the other hand, you could tell me all these guys are going to suck, and I would believe you. So
yeah, no, 100%. I'm with you. I think it is like so flat at this point that it's just like Daniel Jones. Yeah, he's coming off an Achilles, but he still could be extremely valuable, and he's just a quarterback, which is a more valuable position. So yeah, don't Boston?
No, you can't force me.
Flournoy is fine.
Flournoy, I guess. And then if you don't mind, I would probably just pull up Ted Hurst here. I'm super duper high on Ted this year. I think that I've said it before and I'll say it again. There will be about 20 clips of me saying this season. So if it doesn't work out, then whatever. But I think that he will probably be the Puka Nacua of our season. He is really good. He's on an offense that I think is solid. They just lost their ex-receiver, and I think Ted is going to be able to take that spot and going to be just fine. Will be very meaningful this year as the ex-receiver on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. People, for whatever reason, like, I don't understand it. Maybe you can give me a case. I don't know where you stand, but Baker Mayfield is coming off the board as a quarterback, I believe 20. He might be the quarterback 19. He, for the past 3 years, hasn't finished past quarterback 12. I don't see a world where he is not paying off at his value. Now, I definitely get it. There are some younger guys. Jackson Dart, Kyler Murray is coming onto a much better situation. I don't see Shuck outscoring Baker Mayfield. I think that he's good, but I do not get this Shuck price at QB. You can't convince me. Jared Goff, possibly. I don't know if I would rather have Jared Goff over Baker Mayfield. Jordan Love.
They're pretty similar, yeah.
So there are just a lot of guys that should probably be in a similar range as him, but I feel like Baker Mayfield being the cheapest of them, I don't know necessarily why that's the case. I think that it should be a lot, and it is pretty flat, but maybe it should be a little bit flatter.
Yeah. No. I like Baker a lot. I think he had a shoulder injury last year. Obviously Evans was hurt for a little bit. Egbuka was hurt. Like, not just and their O-line injuries, just really bad outcome for them last season. I do think they're a pretty big bounce back candidate. So definitely in on the Bucs as a whole. I would say definitely Ted Hurst, like taking a cheap piece of an offense that I do think is going to rebound is a very smart move. And it's not so much that I'm necessarily out on Egbuka as the player. I think he is extremely good. And if anything, I think Godwin is also cheap as well. If anything, I think it's Godwin that probably is overpriced, just knowing the age, knowing we're just kind of like, it's the age thing. He's been okay. He's been fine. So it's more so like Egbuka, I still want to take him. And Hurst, I definitely agree, is definitely a priority. Late, just like easy, he could easily pay off his ADP, so why not? So I'm with you on that one.
I hope not. I have almost no Goff and almost no Lions. I am not in on the Lions this year. You can call me crazy all you want, but I am not a believer currently. Okay, we need to. I probably am Ray Davis here. You have any thoughts?
I like Ray Davis.
I think that he's way better prospect than Emmanuel Wilson, who's probably not even the running back 2 on the Seattle Seahawks.
You don't have to trust, you never have to twist my arm to take Ray Davis. Do we take another receiver here?
I'm happy with Braylon Allen, Jordan James. You could tell me anyone.
Well, we have Brees, so I don't necessarily. Doesn't really matter.
Do you mind doing Jordan James again? We could do that again. Same story.
Yeah. Right,
that's well, fine. we have him. So
I know everyone is not. I actually am not the biggest Mike Washington hater. I just like as much as I'm in on Genty, I think it's just like if he is the backup, it's like pretty valuable at pick 195. I know we don't know that for sure, but
well, I mean, who would back him up? Otherwise, I would assume that Mike Washington probably is the backup. I just don't know. I feel like they want to make Genty wasn't very good last year. They want to make up for having a bad, making it look like a bad pick. 100%. They want to make Genty look good this year, and I think Fernando Mendoza is going to be the guy. So I don't know. Maybe Mike Washington is a good pick. I don't have a whole lot of him. I got a decent bag of him in pre-draft stuff. So I almost don't even want to touch him anymore. Like
that's fair. That does play into it for sure.
Yeah. So
I think it's just like it's honestly the same argument as Ray Davis, except we've seen it play out before. But it's just like, hey, this guy's going in the first round. I want his backup. It's literally as simple as that. It's just like, does it always play out well? No, but like it's just this late. Getting a guy that could be just getting 20 carries in weeks 15, 16, 17, that and alone is just like worth the price for me. You can say the same thing about Jordan James, right? It's CMC if he's the backup. It's not an anti-Jordan James argument. I'm perfectly fine with that, but it's just like more so an argument to take Davis, James, Mike Washington, all these guys and just mix it up. So yeah.
So tight end is pretty chopped here, but I don't mind necessarily stopping here at
I think we stop at 2.
I mean, if we get Terrence Ferguson to fall to us, I would be happy taking him. But if we don't do that, who would we take?
Tap to receiver. I just want to see who is available here. I don't mind Surratt. I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
Brazel, I think, is just a quintessential 18th round pick in best ball. Like, do I love him? No. Is he a big, fast guy that could catch 2 touchdowns a la so many guys as we've seen just not be relevant and then score a touchdown in week 17? It's probably Brazel for me, just with this team build. Like, I feel good about quarterback. Running back, I feel fine with the 5 we have. Tight end, I'm good with the 2 we have. So it's more so receiver. And who do I think is just like the archetype that makes sense in round 17. Probably him for me. A.D. Mitchell maybe, or Surratt. Troy Franklin would be a stack, although I don't know if I necessarily love that. Any other takes here on receivers? I'm open to anything. I'm literally open to anything. I am not set in my ways here in round 8.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so Terrence Ferguson does fall. His ADP is like, I mean, it's not that crazy of a fall. So if you don't want Terrence Ferguson, we can just do Surratt. I don't care one way or another. Who do you want?
I think Surratt. I think I'm pretty in on the Baltimore offense after a disaster season. Not disaster season, but like we see every year that Lamar doesn't have a good season. He gets injured or he gets sick or whatever, and then like he just comes out and just absolutely scorches earth. I think if we get a Lamar scorched earth season, which I think is definitely in the cards and probably more likely than not, I want pieces of this offense in round 18. I think Surratt he fell right a little bit in the draft farther than we would have thought because, he's not the sexiest prospect, but outside of Zay Flowers, it's kind of wide open. And I kind of think he's like the guy. He's my bet of the guy that I would want. And even if he's the third option, I think that's a huge payoff in round 18 on an offense where Lamar could throw 35 touchdowns and it just could be a huge boom for the offense. So
I probably should look into him a little bit more because like we were taking him pretty high in pre-draft all in all, and there really aren't that many better landing spots that he could have gone to, especially with all the other guys kind of taking up some other places that are kind of trash. Like Baltimore is not a terrible place to have gone, especially with a new head coach that could possibly pass more, and an older running back that you might not want to take as many snaps. And so you may have just convinced me that I need to take more Baltimore, like all of those guys in the late round. Like I think that any of them could possibly be decent. So yeah, I might start mixing them in a little bit. So
yeah. And I am an OG Mark Andrews stan, so I am biased, but I do think he is one of the best picks on the board because like a tight end that can give you 10 plus touchdowns that we've seen him do it before, and he has such a connection with Lamar Jackson. Like you can pencil it in like 9, 10, 11 touchdowns, like in half PPR best ball, like where touchdowns are key. I think that's like pretty crazy at where he goes.
His ADP is like tight end 12 or something. Like it's pretty easy to see a world where that pays off for sure. So I'm not the biggest Andrews bull, but I definitely have a decent amount of Andrews as well. I think the Andrews could definitely smash. He's a little bit older, but
Yeah.
Well, I think that I'll probably wrap up here. Do you want to give the people a breakdown and then we'll call it?
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. Apologies for all the delay, but let's go through this team. We have Dak Prescott here at quarterback, Bo Nix stacked up, Dak also stacked up. We have Daniel Jones also stacked up. So 3 stacked quarterbacks. You feel good about that. We have Jahmyr Gibbs, our 1-2 king, Breece Hall, Travion Henderson, the next Jahmyr Gibbs, Ray Davis and Jordan James. So 2 plausible RB2s for round 1 running backs. We love to see that as our RB4 and RB5. Wide receiver, like we said, the stacked up George Pickens, Jalen Waddle, 2 guys who we've seen year in, year out, able to produce big spike weeks. We love to see that. Josh Downs stacked up. Concepcion, I think Cleveland is one of those teams where I want to be making bets on. It's weird because they're all kind of pushed down because we don't know who the quarterback is, but loved Concepcion as a prospect, and love the offensive coordinator or new head coach and offense. So I definitely want to be betting on that combination of talent plus coordinator. Quarterback is a question mark, but hey, you know what? it's fine. We'll figure it out. Travis Hunter, we just need 1 or 2 spike weeks from him at that cost, and he's going to pay off. Same thing can be said about Flournoy. Good offense, wide receiver 3. If any of the guys above him, Ferguson, Pickens, Lamb misses time, he's a smash. Ted Hurst, we already made the case for him, but he's this year's Puka Nacua. And then Elijah Surratt, Baltimore bounce back is in full effect. Tyler Warren, he's expensive, but I still think we're underselling his rookie season, and he could just be a perennial, top 4 tight end every year that is not sexy, but just like gets the job done, is number 1, number 2 option on his team. And the Jake Ferguson stacked up. I think he finished top 5 at tight end as well last year. So 2 tight ends that, they're not the sexiest guys, but they definitely can give you, very adequate production, and we feel good stopping at 2 with these 2. So I like this team. I think, wide receiver, when you do kind of push it like we did, it never feels the best. But I also think you kind of always have to make that sacrifice. And with the guys we have, the upside that they have, I feel still very, very strong about our team and getting 3 stacked quarterbacks, the running backs we have. Wide receiver is a bit of a crapshoot, but that's, I'm willing to make that shot just, taking the risk there. So.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could be filled up with a lot of just, mixing and matching. I definitely think that this wide receiver room could be completely fine, but we'll have to see. We have three rookies in it, so what could go wrong. But yeah, thank you so much, Bindles, for stopping by. I'm glad that we finally made it work. We'll definitely have to do it again sometime, but I truly appreciate you coming in. Not even leaving work, just making it happen. So you're the GOAT. Really, really appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man. And yeah.
Is there anything, any shout outs you want to make, or anything that you're doing soon for your channel with Rod?
It's been pretty sporadic, to be completely honest, but definitely want to have you join me on my channel or on a Ballsy show soon. And props to you once again for putting yourself out there, and always be the biggest supporter of you and anyone else who is doing that. So
thanks, man.
Hope you have a great night.
Yeah, I hope you have a great night too. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night, everyone. See ya.